Hi, in this video, I am going to discuss about infrastructure security. This infrastructure security is something which will be a part of cybersecurity because as in when we are managing any organizations, protecting the application systems, data, infrastructure, and all everything are essentially important. Protecting from cyber attacks, etc., all that. So in this regard, infrastructure security is one kind of service which normally required for any organization. So this is something I'm making a video for the benefit of the business analyst team, or at the same time for other development team members to understand what exactly infrastructure security is all about. So, and for what purposes infrastructure security required for any customer, wherein by understanding their business situation, so business problem or problems, all that. Subsequently, what kind of solution are we going to provide, and how are we going to provide? This is what something which being a business analyst majorly to start with, because business analyst team should understand about a deep understanding over the infrastructure security or cyber security. This is something which people have to understand, which domain understanding and domain expertise is required nowadays, because domain knowledge, uh, not only the technical knowledge, but of course domain knowledge and is also becoming inevitable and important for any profiles, especially for a business analyst profiles or for development team and all. I'm talking about cyber security part. So in this regard, this infrastructure security is what something which I'm going to explain. This is based on the case study approach. I am taking a case study wherein based on the case study, what solutions are we going to provide and all everything will be explained. Now, when it comes to the introduction part, as far as the infrastructure security, first of all, we need to understand the significance of managing the strategic infrastructure, wherein by implementing some advanced security platforms and as well as security applications, wherein which will be used for us to secure and by implementing different cyber detection techniques and all everything are important for any organizations, right? So for any enterprise, any organization, to protect from cyber security, right? So cyber threats, etc., all that. Cyber security is one of the key and prominent element. Along with this, as part of infrastructure is concerned, understanding security and as well as what kind of appropriate measures to be taken to secure IT assets is also essential for any organization. So infrastructure security, infrastructure management is one of the key and important element for any organizations, because whatever the data they wants to maintain, everything has to be protected. So infrastructure has to be protected on a high level way. Now, when it comes to the business situation, where being a business analyst or any other professionals has to understand the business situation or the problem which customer is having. So based on that, solution are we going to provide will comes next. When it comes to the business situation or the problem here, you can see client is into insurance sector for a very long time, for almost last 30 years. So the kind of operations in context to insurance solutions they are providing across 20 countries, they are providing the insurance solutions for different customers. As a part of that, they are facing some cyber threats in context to the infrastructure which they are managing, part of their business activities, business data management, etc. So to manage their data management and all, they're facing some cyber threats which they wants to provide solution for that. So in context to that, we have made some observations. So observations for as in when being a business analyst, this is more important. So observing the protecting their secure, their core, at the same time assessing the control and relookings. And next, make sure aligning with NIST and ISO standards. These are observations being a business analyst when, as well as other team members, has to understand. Now, what kind of solution approach are we going to follow is what something which we need to understand with, right? In context to the approach itself is concerned, it must be a 24/7 holistic integrated operations. in context with infrastructure and security is concerned. At the same time, it must be a kata-based approach for infrastructure security management by integrating security management with monitoring, right? So continuous discovery, assessing the prioritizing the risk, trust reactively, proactivities, right? So implementing some analytics, AI automation, orchestrations. So all these things are something which are considered as approaches here. Now, when it comes to the solution, are we going to provide? These are the solutions being a business analyst, other team members have identified so far. One is about endpoint protection. Second is vulnerability, followed by network protection, email security, and internet security. Now, when it comes to the endpoint security, being into business analysis as well as the team, in context to the technical team itself is concerned, we are providing an assessment, design, implementation, and as well as support services for holistic protection of endpoints. That includes all the desktops, laptops, mobiles, core IT infrastructure devices, all that. So in this regard, when it comes to the endpoints protection itself is concerned, so we are providing a service called real-time threat detection, wherein to identify that in detail. Next, intrusion detection and prevention is also one of the service will be comes under endpoint protection, followed by file integrity monitoring. At the same time, encryption of data is also required. So encryption of systems and all by identifying the behavioral analytics, how the system behaves and all everything is required. So followed by remediation, auditing and hardening. All these are comes under endpoint protection, all that. Next, when it comes to the vulnerability management and all, we deliver vulnerability management using risk-based approaches and all. So wherein by understanding the vulnerability, discover scanning, risk profiling, prioritizing, exploiting assessments, remediations and consolidating services, cyber loss calculations, all these things has to be done here. Now, when it comes to the network protection itself is concerned, wherein by assessing the firewall rules and as well as designing, redesigning the parameters and supporting the environment using orchestrations and automating for remediations. So we need to provide, and we are providing firewall management across networks, web applications, and cloud applications as well, because nowadays we are implementing cloud applications by understanding about that by implementing network securities like DDoS, SSL, VPN, SDN security. All these things will be comes under this category. Next, when it comes to the email security itself is concerned, wherein we are designing and deploying, managing the external as well as internal email threats. At the same time, data compromises, informations protections and all, wherein for this, we are going to provide services relating to mailbox security, email gateway protections, mobile device management, anti-phishing services, VPN. All these things are comes under email security part. Next one about the internet security. When it comes to the internet security, here we are going to design and deploy and manage the kind of browser contents for business and support business units. That includes all the necessary controls to reduce the attacks landscape, all that. In this regard, filtering the URLs, URL filtering is one of the service we do. At the same time, content filtering, application whistling, whitelisting, right? Whitelisting. At the same time, web application file. So all these things are comes under the internet security part. So these are the solutions you are going to provide in context to the infrastructure security itself is concerned as a part of cyber security is what something being a business analyst or any other development team, one should understand in context to the cyber security part itself is concerned. So this is all about this video. If you have any training as well as project based training or coaching needs, all that in context to the cyber security or anything of that sort, being a business analyst or any of other roles. So please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.